The following program was made possible in part by the California State Railroad Museum and Foundation and the Colorado Railroad Museum.
All aboard!
I'm on number 3, the Southwest Chief.
What you've just witnessed is an event that has occurred for over 65 years on the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway, now known as Burlington Northern and Santa Fe. While luxury passenger trains have plied the rails for over 100 years, one train like no other caught the public's attention. Hi, I'm Michael Gross, and welcome to the Super Chief. Speed, style, and service. As I said before, no train has carved a niche in America's rail history like Santa Fe's Super Chief. Welcome aboard. In recent times, rail service between Chicago and Los Angeles over the Super Chief route has been provided by Amtrak, America's national rail passenger service. While Amtrak has had a much shorter and somewhat controversial history, Santa Fe, by contrast, perfected its passenger service long before the Super Chief appeared. Brian Thompson explains.
The Santa Fe had established early on, right at the turn of the century, a name for luxury service. Their first real luxurious train was the Santa Fe Deluxe. That was just beyond anything that people had seen up at the time. It was a short train, very limited accommodations, but a lot of the amenities that later became commonplace, like full lounges and the observation lounge, and of course the food. The food on the Santa Fe, under the name of Fred Harvey, was known throughout the world. This later evolved with the California Limited, and then as that grew. But of course, when the Depression came along, and with the decline of traffic, some of their trains had to be reduced.
During the 1930s, America was experiencing social changes as well as new technologies in transportation. How were the railroads coping with these developments?
The mid-1930s was a time of tremendous social and technological change in the United States. We were in the midst of the Great Depression, and we had the rise of new technologies that were changing the way people traveled. And the railroads were attempting to economize, to respond to the economic pressures, and at the same time compete against other forms of transportation, principally the private automobile. Internal combustion technology, new lightweight metals, and new fastening techniques to hold these metals together came together in the early 1930s in the motor trains, like the later Pioneer Zephyr or the M10,000. The Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe was one of many railroads that sought to modernize their image, improve their efficiency, and take advantage of these new technologies to provide a higher level of service at a premium level for the traveling public.
People often asked how the names of various trains were selected. As you know, basically they related to Indian type of names, as did the Pullman cars, and we had the trains, the Navajo and the Scout, and the Super Chief. When the discussion took place, as I remember from some old memorandum that I had read with the advertising people, all kinds of names were picked out. The Cactus Special, the Hollywood Limited, the Hollywood Special, Big Chief, and I'm not sure as to the person who came up with the name Super Chief, but the Super Chief seemed to be such a natural fit for that train, and the name stuck.
On May 12th of 1936, the name Super Chief became a reality, offering for the first time a 39 3/4 hour schedule from Chicago to Los Angeles. Prior to that date, Santa Fe's Chief offered dependable service along that same route, so it was no surprise that passengers quickly took to the new train.
Every effort was made to provide the highest level of travel comfort. All cars were air-conditioned. They were staffed with top-of-the-line crews who had been trained in the best traditions of the railroad. After all, this was an extra fare, extra fast, and an all-Pullman train.